Hey, so I learned something new in Photoshop the other day I wanted to share. It involves using Photoshop's Content Aware, and I've always had some mixed results with it. Can't ever remember how to use it, and then when I do use it, don't always get the results that I want, and doesn't work like I want it to. So this time around, I learned a new method and wanted to share it, and it worked out pretty well. So first off, just as a reminder, Content Aware is basically where you can remove an item from a photo. If we just cut this item and it leaves this big ugly square, it doesn't do us any good. But if we want to remove the bird from the image, this used to involve a lot of hard work in Photoshop to get this bird out of the image, because even if you zoom way in and cut the bird out, you're still going to have missing piece of the background. But with Content Aware, you can pretty easily just use the fill option, and you choose Content Aware, click OK, and yeah, you can tell a little bit about where it was, but for the most part it does a really good job of removing the background. We could probably use some blurring to smooth this out. We could probably tweak the settings a little bit, but this is the use in its basic, or this is the basic usage of Content Aware. Works really well for removing small objects from larger backgrounds. So if you have a sky or an ocean or a large field, anything with a lot of surrounding content that you basically just want to fill in, then it works well. But typically that's probably not the case. You usually don't have such a luxury. So this is a photo we're going to use for a website, hero image, and the client wants to remove this content here, or this sign that says main entrance. We don't want it to be distracting. So let's just use the same method as we did before. We'll select this area, and we'll fill it, fill Content Aware, and so this is the kind of result we would get, and this is obviously not desirable. The reason is there's just not enough surrounding content for Photoshop to make an intelligent decision about what content goes in that background. But the tutorial that I just recently read uses the patch tool, and you can hit Shift J to select it, or it looks like this little thing here. So let's just back out of what we did. Alright, now we're going to zoom back in. We have the patch tool selected, and first you're going to select the content that you want to remove. Be a lot easier if we could do this with the pen-like tool. Okay, so once you have it selected, you want to take a look at your options up here. Patch, we want to choose the Content Aware option, and I'm not sure what any of this other stuff does, but it's just left the default settings. So now what you do is you can move this selection to another area of your image that better represents the background that you want in your selection. So you can see here, this is not great. This is not great, but we basically want the same. We just want a smooth painted concrete, and if we hold our mouse, if we hold the selection over this area, it looks better, but it doesn't match the color. But somehow once you finally release it, it works its magic and just fills it right in. So now if we move our selection, we can see that it filled it in perfectly. I think I have the pen tool here. Let me remove that so you can see it. Yeah. So here we are. we go to, this is 100% here of the image, and there's no way you can tell that that there was any sign here. It looks very natural and it works perfectly. So I don't know if this is a good example, if it's the only time I've used the patch tool, or if it works this well all the time, but I look forward to using it in the future and hope that you can use it as well.